I just referred that rum is originated in West Indies from the slaves in 1650. Rumblian was the word. Sugarcane molasses, they prepared the first time alcohol. Since then, it is used in West Indies.
Okay.
And then I have a question here,
Mm.
not about the rum. Krishna's in Bhagavad Gita, second chapter, 46 and 47, Karmani Madhikarastha.
Yeah.
He says that do the job, no attachment, don't expect. Now, this sloka, he said you need to have the desire and then attachment. Is he contradicting?
Now, karmanyavadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. So, there, Ramesh, there you are the author of your actions, no doubt, right? Actions emanate from
Yes,
us.
yes.
We are the, whatever is done by us belongs to us. We are the creator of those actions, if I can say, author of those actions. And he is saying, ma phaleshu kadachana. You are not the author of the results of the action.
Yes.
That doesn't mean you don't know what the result, you don't have an expectation, correct?
Yes.
And then what does it say? Ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phala hetur bhuhu ma te sangostva karmani. Okay, so he says don't be attached to inaction because you don't call the shots. He says you don't call the shots, you can only do but you can't call the shots. You have an expectation, you plan things out, etc. But ma phaleshu kadachana, it's a very, it's a correct statement basically, right? You don't,
Yes.
you can plan as much as you want and then you wait for the results to happen, take place. That's what he's saying, right? So he,
Yes.
and then here he's saying the same thing. In the sense he's saying you have to do what is to be done, and without being, without your raga dveshas driving you, let dharma be the thing that guides you. Okay, that's what he's saying. So these are not two different things. Not
Different
two
way
different
of presentation is different. Or telling is the different. Desire is, I say, desire. Karma, do the karma with the desire.
So karma cannot be done without desire anyway. Okay.
Yes.
So desire precedes karma. Precedes karma. Okay. So one has to have a desire, and then the desire is there. We don't, these things happen quickly, right? You get up in the morning, you immediately go to the wash basin. So desire is there. You precede it. It all happens quickly, right? So desire precedes action. And so desiring, loka sangraham karma kuru means keeping the benefit of everybody in mind. So that desire is there. Desire is not opposed to wisdom. Desire is not opposed to wisdom. Okay. So even Krishna had desires, and only thing is Krishna's desire is a blessing. We said earlier before, desire is a blessing.
Yes.
The ability to desire is a blessing, and that only humans have. Animals do not have that, and so therefore we recognize that. So nothing wrong with desire. Okay, but then dhyayato vishayan pumsaha sangasteshu upajayate sangat sanjayate kama. So you allow those desires to just get carried away. One gets carried away by those desires, then of course that leads to problems ityadi. We saw that. Okay,
Having the good desire, good motivation is not a bad idea, not a bad this one, right? One of the lectures I was listening that desire is the root cause of unhappiness. I was little confused. Having the desire is the bad thing, or having the bad desire or a good desire, act upon the good desire and motivation, and then achieve the goals, what it comes, and then don't depend upon the result of that one. Do your karma in a proper way, authentic, and then ethical way. Then what it happens, the result accept as a prasada.
Yeah. So back to your original statement, which is you saw a translation or you heard somebody saying desire is root cause of unhappiness. The popular translation, desire is the root cause of happiness. So you're not alone in that. In the sense, all of us have seen it. And you see, suppose somebody lost a lot of money in the business, and then he's told, you started a business, that's why you lost money. Is that a correct statement? That's not correct. That's not a correct statement.
Yes, you're right.
It is true that
It is a true
only
statement,
it is
may
true.
not be
See,
correct.
it is true in the sense only if you start a business you can lose money in a business. Without starting a
Yes.
business you can't lose money. Okay, but if somebody says you started a business therefore you lost the money, that is not acceptable. That is not
Yes.
acceptable. Hey, this you have desire as a root cause is exactly like that. You have a head, therefore you have a headache. Will Dr. Ramesh accept that? He has a head, doctor. That's why he has a headache. He doesn't even know this simple fact. Suppose I say, a doctor
I
won't
used to
accept
tell
that.
my patients, yes, sometimes headache is a good idea. It reminds you that you have a head.
Yeah, but the statement
Yes.
is not correct. Just because you have a head,
Right.
you have a headache. Therefore, remove your head. Right? That is the idea.
No,
Therefore,
no,
remove.
no. Okay.
No, but you are saying no. But that person who said desire is a root cause a problem says remove your desire. He uses that statement to say you cannot have desires because desire is a root cause for all your problems.
Yes.
That's impossible. It is like saying make your eyes not see. Open your eyes but don't see. It's not possible. You can't. The job of the eyes is to see. And human being is endowed with the ability to desire. Ichha Shakti, we saw that before. It's Ichha Shakti. So it's a manifestation of Ishvara, of Devi. And therefore, the body is there, desires are there. Now, how are you going to deal with it? That is the question. So it's running away from the problem. Pointing to desires as a root cause of problem is running away from the problem. Okay? So we'll understand more as we proceed.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so Rukminiji is reminding us here that there are two kinds of desire, binding and non-binding desire. Yeah, that also we talked about. So we said a desire whose fulfillment or non-fulfillment will decide my fate. So what my state of mind is going to be decided by the fulfillment of that desire. In that case, the desire is binding desire. I'm bound by it. The minute I have a desire, I'm bound. That's it. I don't have to do anything. The whole process is just a process of bondage. And so we saw that. And so the wise person's desires are all non-binding desires. Correct? Non-binding desires. So Ichha Shakti is there, but the Shakti is not. And so, but it's not a bondage anymore because the person recognizes the loss will take care of the results. And if it does not happen in my favor, and if it is in fact opposite of what I want, what do? Pretty sad it can be. No, prasada only it is. So a person accepts it. Maybe some resistance may be there, but then the resistance quickly goes away. Resistance, that's the resistance to realities is the root cause of problems, root cause of samsara. That should be the statement. The person who says desire is a root cause should be told, no, it's not true. Because when you say that, do you want me to understand that or not? He has to say yes. That means he has a desire. He has a desire. What is his desire? That I must understand what he is saying. Correct? That's a desire. So you have a desire now? And you're saying, and you want me to remove the desire? Not possible. Not at all possible. So Okay. All right.
Thank you, Jai Kumarji. I have one more request.
Yeah.
My interest to find the right person to help him to achieve IAS. You told a good story. If that person, if he is really genuinely is interested to pursue IAS, if he needs some help, please let me know. I'll be very happy to facilitate.
Sure.
That is one of my lifelong ambition, to find the right person to help to achieve IAS.
Yeah.
That is Nishkama Karma. I don't expect anything back from him.
Correct. No, it's a joy to see all our people, work hard and do their duties properly, and at the same time want to study and things like that. With the pandemic and all that, so many people are affected, and so I was happy to happy to hear that. So I told him, finally, I told him, if you study IAS, you can be a collector of Coimbatore. I gave him some examples. What are the kind of jobs you can get, etc. So I told him, you ask your teacher, what is the meaning of IAS, what it means, and what kind of studies are required, and what can I become, what kind of job I can have, all that. What does it take? All that you understand, and you're welcome to call me, I said. So we'll see, and we'll pray for him, for his family. Yeah. Okay, good. So if there are no other questions, we will.
Jaykumarji, I have a comment.
Yeah, Vaidya, go ahead.
Yeah, so this, Dr. Rameshji mentioned, about desire being the root cause of unhappiness. So Buddhism, one of the four noble truths of Buddha is that desire is the root cause of suffering. So a lot of people confuse these Buddhist teachings with Hindu teachings. This is actually a clear statement. Says all religions are not the same. In our Hindu religion, ignorance is a cause of suffering, right? Ignorance of the self, not desire.
Yeah, correct, exactly. Puts a burden on us, and as opposed to pointing to something else, Yeah, so Buddhism, that also is there, and popularly said. Sometimes Puja Swamiji says, sometimes I saw Puja Swamiji giving benefit of doubt to Buddha himself, whether Buddha could have said a statement like that. Like that, I've heard Swamiji saying. But yeah, the Buddhism as we understand it is like that. And
yes, the Buddhism of today. Yeah, if you go to Wikipedia, it will say this is one of the, desire is a root cause of suffering.
Correct. And but it doesn't have. But the problem is, if the statement doesn't have a solution. Suppose it's true. Suppose it is true. There is no solution to that. That's a problem.
Correct. No, that is true. That's true. There is no solution within Buddhism.
No. If that statement were true, let's accept the statement to be true for the moment. Okay, desire is the root cause of suffering. Let's say it is true. Now, what is the solution to remove for my?
To become sannyasi, to become
No.
Buddha.
No desire.
That is, solution is you have to remove the desire. How are you going to remove desire? Because now I have, among all the desires I have one more desire. I must remove desire. My desire has increased by one.
Yeah.
And that desire, whether it's going to be fulfilled or not, is anybody's guess. So it doesn't. If that is a truism, then there is no solution.
True.
Yeah.
But Buddhism doesn't say that desire is the root cause of unhappiness. It also talks about avidya pakshaya sankara. That's where it starts, where avidya again. So, and then it goes on to say that bhav, which is becoming towards the end, like avidya pakshaya sankara, sankara pakshaya vinyana, vinyana pakshaya namarupa. So that's how it links how the name and form and the touch, the sensations, and then finally goes on to say bhav, the consciousness continues. So it starts with actually avidya, not really desire.
Yeah. So there is that school of thought also,
Yeah.
and so consciousness continues, but then shunya also is there. Yeah. So that part is there. So that's
the second school of thought. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, exactly. Thanks, Prasad.
Yeah, and according to Kanchi Shankaracharya, Paramacharya, Adi Shankara had actually, the thought is Adi Shankara, defeated the Buddhists, right? That is a popular belief. But what Kanchi Paramacharya said was the Tarkikas, which is another school within our, not school, I would say. Tarkika is a logic, like logicians. They were the ones who beat the Buddhists in debate because the Shunyavada comes in. So how can this world come from nothing?
Correct. So you don't need Vedanta to debate Buddhist.
Correct.
And so
Pure logic, you can disprove Buddhism.
Tarka is enough. Yeah. So Sankhya, so Tarka Pradhana Darshanas are there. And that will counter that argument. Nothingness. So one has to think about that. See, it is tempting. So that's why this inquiry is so important. Correct? We have to really spend time on this. And what we are talking about here in Vedanta, and why ignorance is the root cause, how it can be the root cause, how it can answer all your questions, all that we have to think through, how it can explain suffering, all that we have to see. Correct? We must be clear in our mind. And so that rope snake example is there. And so those are all very powerful. And so the consciousness always is that which is permanent, always is and always will be. And I am that. Correct? That Nitya Vastu. So it all falls in place eventually. Yeah. Thanks. Okay. We'll pause with that.